After spending over 40 hours in the batty, fashion-obsessed world of Miraland, I think Infinity Nikki might just replace Genshin as the new standard that future open-world gacha games are compared to. The main reason I suspect we'll all be changing the target of our eye-rolling is because, while developer Infold Games has clearly nabbed a fair few ideas from Genshin Impact's now signature open-world design, it's the first of these post-Genshin style of games to hit the sweet spot between emulation and innovation. Infinity Nikki is actually the 5th installment in the Nikki series, with previous entries only available on mobile. Don't worry about missing out on too much context though, as this latest entry seems to be a brand new take on the fairy tale-esque world of Miraland, along with alternate versions of pink-haired protagonist Nikki and her adorable barbecue-loving cat Momo. With Infinity Nikki, the series' focus on dress-up menus and visual novel-like storytelling has shifted to an open world for Nikki to jump, float, and cycle her way across. There's still a huge focus on fashion, with thousands of outfit pieces available at launch, gacha banners to pull on for slightly fancier outfits, and bonkers world building where style is worshipped in tandem with ancient gods. Only now, your main reason for dressing Nikki up is to simply look cute while exploring. A struggle many girls, gays and theys can appreciate. Initially, during my first few hours in Miraland, it didn't really seem like there was anything particularly remarkable about it. There's the usual chests that reward in-game currency, resources like flowers, bugs and fish to collect for outfit crafting, puzzles and minigames, side quests, and hundreds of Korok seed-like collectibles called Whimstars to discover and challenge. However, as I made my way through the 6 mini-regions available at launch, I started to take notice of all the extra touches added for seemingly no other reason than to make your journey as upbeat and memorable as possible. Things like photo challenges perfect for soaking in the fairy tale sights, magical hopscotch that changes Nikki's clothes with every skip, and a whimsical bicycle used to pedal across rolling hills and hop to impossible heights with. There are some moments where Infinity Nikki isn't all shiny, happy vibes, but even then it's endearingly silly. This is a land filled with cheesy villain monologues, disputes settled by who the best dressed is, and a peculiar, slightly uncomfortable religious rivalry between the fairy-like Fey-wish sprites and a group of anthropomorphic floating clothes, the PCs. Oh, and there's a character called Old Fanny Packy, a good indicator of just how brilliantly absurd the writing is, which, of course, includes the main story. Nikki and Momo start their magical Miraland journey when they get unceremoniously whisked there from their own world after Nikki touches a swanky red dress while searching her dusty attic. The pair soon meet a goddess who tasks Nikki with finding all of the miracle outfits so she can save the world. Somehow. That part isn't too clear, but oh well, there's a brand new mystery waiting for Nikki after she meets the residents of Floral Wish, a quaint town with an old-fashioned dress sense. There have been some unexplained occurrences of people slipping into comas around Floral Wish, with the task of solving the case falling to the town's Stylist Guild. Because, in Miraland, those with an eye for fashion are best served to also double up as private investigators, I guess? Nikki, impeccably dressed as she is, soon becomes a junior stylist and is essentially promoted to chief coma investigator. As Nikki's investigation continues, we're introduced to more areas of Miraland, with each sporting a different look, soundtrack, and usually a brand new traversal method. The story might be a bit ridiculous, but its daft charm doesn't overstay its welcome, thanks in large part to the brevity of each chapter. In fact, the same can be said for almost all parts of Infinity Nikki. There may be a lot of side activities to partake in, but it's all very manageable. Like side quests, for example, which tend to be blissfully short. The random quest types are even shorter still, only lasting between 30 seconds and 2 minutes. So, instead of feeling like unnecessary bloat, these extras are often quick distractions that act as a way to guide you towards interesting characters and factions, or reveal a little more about Infinity Nikki's surprisingly deep lore. Quite the deviation from the Genshin formula, where everything feels like it's far longer than it has any need to be. An example of Infinity Nikki smartly choosing what not to take from Genshin Impact instead, as was its decision to almost nix combat completely. You never kill anything in Infinity Nikki, instead you purify it with one of Nikki's special ability outfits, with these themed costumes acting as exploration tools. Sometimes you automatically swap to an outfit to perform a specific action, like when you fire an orb from Nikki's purification outfit, or when double jumping to get Nikki to float a short distance. Most of the time though, you bring up an ability wheel and pick what you need to do from there. Fishing, catching bugs, fixing electrical equipment, there's even an outfit dedicated to just floating. For the most part, that's basically all there is to combat in Infinity Nikki. Although, very occasionally, a boss does pop up. The fact that I was shocked when I encountered my first boss shows just how rare fighting is in the game. I realise this was probably a decision made to appeal to a younger and more casual audiences, but speaking as someone who is far beyond fed up of farming for gear in similar games, the simplicity of combat in Infinity Nikki is about 10 steps past welcome at this point. On the other hand, something unfortunately all too familiar with open world gachas is how buggy Infinity Nikki is right now. For the most part, these are inconsequential moments more funny than anything else, but there are more annoying bugs and technical issues I encountered too, like an inconsistent stutter while playing on PC, random hard crashes, and a dreaded quest progression problem that stopped me from seeing the end of the story for days. To their credit, Infold Games did fix this progression problem soon after it was flagged, although with all of the hard crashes I initially found. That said, I doubt the launch version will be entirely free from similar bugs, glitches, and crashes. A lot of Infinity Nikki's jank has already been fixed since the game's last beta, so I suspect there will be a point where it isn't quite so buggy to play. But, for now, it's one of the only things getting in the way of fully enjoying my jaunts about Miraland. Then we have the other, seemingly inescapable issue with mobile-focused open-world games these days, Gacha. As Infinity Nikki is a dress-up game at heart, the banners you spend your in-game currency on don't feature new characters. Instead, they offer exclusive outfits for Nikki. While there are lots of ways to get outfits and clothing pieces for free just by exploring and completing quests, banner outfits can't be earned through any other method other than spending in-game currency. This currency can be slowly earned by completing tasks in the game for free, or you can buy premium packs and convert them into what you need to pull on banners. These exclusive costumes do tend to look more desirable than the free ones, but not by much. Not so much better that I feel like spending ridiculous sums of money to get them. Infinity Nikki has the usual gacha pity system, where you're guaranteed a 4-star outfit piece every 10 pulls and a 5-star outfit piece every 20 pulls. You're also guaranteed to get a different 5-star piece within 20 pulls, meaning you only start to get duplicates once you've completed a set. This works out as the old standard of getting what you want from a limited banner within 180 pulls. However, the old standard of ludicrous premium currency prices is also in place, as it costs around £345 or $435 to buy what you need to make up 180 pulls, an absurd amount of money to spend on a digital outfit. Thankfully, apart from the appeal of dressing Nikki up in a nice new outfit, there's almost no reason to pull on banners. Each outfit piece does come with stats for things like cute, sweet, and fresh, with higher stat numbers helping you win fashion battles, but these are primarily side activities with no real incentive to engage with outside of small faction-based stories. You also don't need banner outfits to guarantee a win during them. At least I never did at any point while playing. There's also plenty of free outfit pieces that can secure the sweet victory in a flawlessly coordinated or hilariously mismatched clothing instead. Even though it's kind of redundant in terms of gameplay benefits, if the inclusion of a gacha system is a deal breaker for you, then Infinity Nikki hasn't done anything different to change your mind here. Which is a shame, because the rest of the game feels like such a breath of fresh air. The changes made for a casual, younger, and fed-up audience are why I think Infinity Nikki might be on the same path as Genshin Impact in shaking up the gacha scene. To be clear, I don't like Infinity Nikki so much because I think it's going to be massive. I think Infinity Nikki is going to be massive because of how much I like it. Its individual parts may not sound like much on their own, but when you blend them all together, exploring Miraland is a truly joyful, stress-free experience. Infold Games may have taken heavy inspiration from Genshin Impact, but it has managed to create its own signature playground in the process, thanks, in a large part, to what it hasn't taken from Genshin. I don't know about Infinity Nikki truly being a Genshin killer, but it sure is nice to see MiHoYo have some proper competition for once. Even if Infinity Nikki ends up struggling to meet my rather lofty expectations, I know I'll still be returning to Miraland whenever I'm in need of a mood boost, whether that be in the form of humming along to catchy tunes while whim cycling my way towards various locations, or laughing at the melodrama in future story updates. But if it does manage to find its audience, well, I wonder what the Infinity Nikki killer will look like. And there you go, that's Eurogamer's review of Infinity Nikki, written by Jessica Orr. You can read more of her impressions on Eurogamer.net, and if you enjoyed this video, please do feel free to subscribe to Eurogamer and like this video too, and hell, even leave a comment about the kind of outfit you want to dress up as with Nikki if you feel like it. Now, I am going to go and, surprise surprise, play Infinity Nikki, so I'll see you folks next time.